Good morning. Truman started off explaining, or at least describing, what we have done over the last 4 years with ageLOC. Just wanted to sort of remind all of you, when we first introduced ageLOC, we felt at that time we had a competitive advantage as far as the science is concerned, because we were the first to realize that focusing on gene expression is perhaps the way to go to develop the next generation of anti-aging products, and acting as umbrella both for our skincare product category together with our nutritional supplement category. And if you look at all the reasons why we elected to go with ageLOC, I think it's shown on this particular slide. Importantly, culminating in the acquisition of LifeGen after 2.5 years of exclusive collaboration with them on the scientific level. I think as you see throughout this presentation on our product development cycle, it became very clear to us that LifeGen has to become part and parcel of the Nu Skin R&D team. And the reason why we believe ageLOC is so powerful and potent for us to develop and use as an approach for product development rests perhaps on this fundamental tenet, and that is that unlike most of our competitors, our scientists felt very strongly we need to focus on the sources of aging in order to gain further insights on the aging process, whether it's on the skin or on the rest of the body. We obviously have to understand what the sources of aging are going to be. And it became clear to us, because of the availability of the Human Genome Project and the creation of the genome map in 2003, we got to go hunting at the genetic level. And that is why this graphic shows that unlike most of our competitors, we differentiate ourselves by focusing on the sources of aging rather than just merely developing products for alleviating signs or symptoms of aging. Because I think that will translate, as you will see, that will translate to a more meaningful benefit for the consumer or a person taking one of our products. Let me use ageLOC TR90 because clearly this product launch in October has become perhaps our flagship product that has been derived from the ageLOC approach. Let me perhaps use this as a case study to illustrate the guiding principle behind our ageLOC approach and how our scientists came to develop this product system that focuses. And we have chosen our words very carefully here. This is not a weight loss program. This is, in fact, a weight management program leading to a better body shape. That, we feel, is a far more meaningful and more persistent benefit that you can get from TR90 relative to other conventional weight loss programs. Because when we talk about a diet, I think by definition, a diet is something that you use and you take and consume, but you will eventually stop using it. By contrast with TR90, this is a system that we wish that for many of our folks to at least use the eating plan that comes with the TR90 system so that they can maintain a healthy weight, which obviously will translate to a much better body shape based on what we have understood from our ageLOC approach. The science behind ageLOC, and this is again a very exciting development for us and an insight, a key insight perhaps, and that is we are attempting to debunk 3 important myths related to weight. And that is, the first myth is that all weight loss programs are created equal. They're not. Because you will soon see that many of the programs out there, while you get on a scale and you see a loss in weight, you are in fact, if you look more closely, you are losing an equivalent amount of muscle together with the fat, and that is not very healthy. The second myth is, well, we are born what we are landed with the genes, and there's nothing we can do about maintaining a healthy weight. And again, the science tells us this is not true because genes are very dynamic. They will respond to how you treat them, and you can actually influence the gene expression in such a way as that will lead to a more healthy weight. And then finally, the third myth is very prevalent in our industry, and that is there is this magical bullet out there that one product and one pill that you take will result in significant weight loss. Unfortunately, I think time and time again, it tells us when you look at these individuals or these consumers taking a so-called magic bullet, the weight returns. So these are the things that we are trying to debunk with our ageLOC science. I think this graphic shows very dramatically and very clearly why weight loss is not created equal. Right? So if you look at that person on the left, he is of exactly the same BMI as the person on the right. And yet, when you look at them, the person on the right is the person that we all wish to aspire to. It's well-defined. The body shape is great. They weigh 200 pounds, but he looks really good. The person on the left doesn't look quite as good. And that is because, as I've alluded to, most diet programs lead to the loss of muscle. And when you have a loss of muscle, your basic metabolic rate or your resting metabolism goes down because muscle is the only tissue in the body that can actually help you to burn your calories while resting. Without muscle, you can't achieve that goal. So many of the studies have shown that as you increase muscle mass in your body, your resting metabolic rate goes up, which obviously will then translate to more calories being burned. And that is why we are emphasizing a lot in terms of our TR90 system that you are going to preserve the muscle while losing the fat. That is the key goal and objective of the TR90 system. This is not just our word of it, and I've always mentioned science to back up our substantiation, and there are many peer-reviewed journal articles that have been produced and published to show and suggest that on the average, you lose about 40% of your muscle mass during a weight loss program. That's a lot. A 40% loss of your muscle mass will translate to a resting metabolic rate that is not healthy, and importantly, it will not help you to maintain the weight, a healthy weight. Because in addition to the loss of fat, that muscle loss, in fact, will make you shapeless and will not have the BMI going up, so therefore you're not able to burn calories. The second thing about genes is that most of us, when we look at genes, we almost think that these genes are static. In fact, they're very dynamic. If your genes are not dynamic, you're not able to respond to the environment, to all the signals coming into you. So therefore, we believe, and science has shown us, that you can influence gene expression. And that's what we're focusing on, not to structurally change the genes, but to influence their gene expression or their activity. So here's a study. These are what we call in science, and we geeks, we use a lot of jargon, like most analysts do. So, and the lean control is a heat map. That's a genetic expression profile that's been taken from a lean control. That's what we would call a desired heat map or gene expression, an optimal gene expression profile. The one on the right was taken from an individual that's a high fat content. And when you look at it, it has an opposite profile to what you see in a lean control. And then you take the fat tissue, and you can do that. You do a biopsy, and you look at the fat tissue under the microscope. I think you will appreciate and agree with me that the fat cells in this particular study shows that this high-fat control shows extremely large fat cells. In other words, it contains a lot of lipid. It contains a lot of fat. That's how you gain weight, is because the fat cells get bigger by accumulating a lot more fat. When you treat the high-fat control with a particular ingredient that we eventually chose to put into our TR90 supplement, you can see that this particular ingredient reduces the size of the fat cells. That means the fat is being lost. Same number of fat cells, but the fat inside the fat cells, they are being slowly excluded from the body. And when you look at the gene expression profile, it's beginning and it looks very similar to the gene expression profile that you see in a lean control. So what we have done is to look at the genetic level and be able to translate or at least correlate that profile to a meaningful clinical benefit or a functional benefit, which gives us confidence, therefore, that ageLOC approach, focusing on gene expression, allows us to gain these kinds of insights and allows us to screen for ingredients that we can eventually use in a TR90 supplement. That's not all, though, because we also recognize there's a second reality as far as eating is concerned, and that is there's an organ in your body far away from the fat, and that's called the brain. If we don't have an influence on the brain, the eating behavior continues to go awry, and you will eat more than you should. And again, when we look at the gene expression profile of inside the brain tissue, we see that genes control and modulate both the appetite and the ability to stay full, or at least to feel full. So once again, we have used this insight to screen for ingredients that can help us to modulate the genes expression profile in the brain so that the eating behavior stays optimal. There is no magic bullet. This is the third myth. There's no such thing. We don't believe that we can actually develop a single product that can help people to maintain healthy weight. And therefore, when you look at TR90, it's a systems approach to weight management and body shaping. I've mentioned that there are many ingredients out there that we can evaluate. But how do you go about evaluating the relevant ingredients to put into a weight management program? We've used the ageLOC approach as a funnel. We use it as a filter to screen hundreds and thousands of natural ingredients that there's some putative claim out there to say that they have a weight management effect. We've used it to see whether they actually have an impact on those relevant genes related to weight. And out of that screening procedure, and that's part of the ageLOC approach, we have selected many ingredients that we can blend together and put into a supplement. That's the approach. We don't believe there's a single ingredient, neither do we believe there is a single product that can help us to achieve healthy weight. The TR90 is a systems approach. It consists of 3 supplements together with a protein shake that helps people to use the protein to build muscle, or at least at a very minimum to preserve muscle, while we control the hunger pangs and while helping to lose the fat content. And again, when we look at the ageLOC approach, obviously the first thing we do is to look at gene expression profile. Here's a study. This is an important study because this is a study that we conducted with our LifeGen partners in Wisconsin. And we took a biopsy of the fat tissue, and once again, we took it from a lean control. That's a heat, there would be a heat map or a gene expression profile from a lean control on the left, and in the middle is the high-fat control. And again, we see a dramatic difference in the gene expression profile. However, when you include the ingredient blend that we use in TR90 together within the high-fat control, we see the gene expression profile reverting and approximating to that we see in a lean control, giving us, once again, the confidence that we're on the right track and we should pursue this particular blend to incorporate into a TR90 product. We followed this with a clinical human study. In this particular study, instead of looking at fat tissue, we were more interested in looking at the genes related to appetite and hunger. And once again, lean control on the left, the TR90 baseline, and that is fat people before TR90. We took blood for them, and we looked at the gene expression profile, and we saw a huge difference between the lean control group versus before TR90. And then when we added TR90, or we have these individuals taking the TR90 system for the next 90 days, we see, again, confirming our hypothesis that our ageLOC approach will produce a gene expression profile that approximates a lean control, and therefore leading and ultimately translating to better appetite or to a more appetite control and less hunger. When we looked, and we can use what we call a DEXA scan to look at whether there is in fact any muscle loss or what is the difference between the muscle before and after TR90 relative to the fat. And here it illustrates and summarizes the results we have from this particular study after 90 days. Minimally, we saw no loss of muscle mass from these individuals, while there is a significant loss of fat. So, again, I think we have substantiated our claim that with TR90, this is a program that focuses on weight management and body shaping while preserving and at least maintaining muscle mass. And when you look at visually at measuring the circumferences of the waist, the hips, the arms, and the ankles, you see there is, once again, a very significant reduction in the circumference of these body parts. So to quote perhaps a very famous philosopher, Shakira, the hips don't lie. So I think all these things and all the science that we do, ultimately, I think we need to have the customer and the consumer to be happy. And we did an exit interview with all the subjects from the particular study, from this 90-day study, and we see they have reported they have low levels of hunger, they have a very positive change in the silhouette, and the clothes fit much better, and they do prefer this program over other weight loss programs they've tried for many years to help them to lose weight. So I think the TR90 case study suggests that the ageLOC approach works. It is effective. It is relevant to look at gene expression. So how does that translate going forward into a pipeline, into our product pipeline? Over the last 4 years, we have launched at least 3 supplement programs out, 3 supplement products from our ageLOC approach together with our skincare. So let me take you through our product pipeline over the next minimally 5 years, if not longer. So here's the arc. We've started with ageLOC over the last 4 years, launching, as Dan and Truman has mentioned to you, those products shown on this particular chart. We are going to go ageLOC high definition over the next 5 to 10 years. We are going to fine-tune our ageLOC approach to the extent that we can actually use the ageLOC approach to personalize our skincare and nutritional supplements. We believe we have reached the stage where the trend of personalization, we can get on that trend and using our ageLOC approach, produce products that will take care of your individual needs, whether it's on the skin or whether for your nutritional needs. We call this the ageLOC high definition approach. So here's our pipeline. Going forward, we are in a very advanced stage of developing a personalized skincare system. We are focusing on producing our next generation of a nutritional supplement. Some of you who have been with us we have been calling this particular product the MOAS product. This is the mother of all supplements. We are going into the home use category, the home use device category. In fact, we are the category leader in this space with our galvanic spa. And then we're going to use ageLOC and other things we are working on to produce and to meet specific market needs as far as local product initiatives are concerned. And then we will turn our attention to personalized nutrition. We call our personalized skincare system ageLOC BeSpoke. This is a skincare system designed just for you because you will be able to answer that question. You are an individual. It will provide a customization so that you can personally moisturize and you can personally take care of whether it's a wrinkle or whether it's a blemish. This is for you and for you only. We have gone through a lot of formulations and permutations. In fact, this particular project has the ability to permutate up to 256 formulation derivatives to come up with that one formulation specifically blended just for you. What does it look like? Because we need to deliver this particular individualized, personalized skincare treatment. Here it is. This is the BeSpoke. This is the delivery system. Personalized and customized. When we look, and I think, again, this is a project turning our attention over to nutrition now. This is our alpha project. This is the next generation. This is perhaps the catalyst that drove us to the decision to acquire LifeGen. Because the LifeGen science, when we first looked at it and when we first collaborated using that gene expression approach, we thought it had a finite lifespan, that it will come to an end after the launch of Vitality and R². That's all it has in its age. In other words, it doesn't have any legs. But after a couple of years working with this particular approach, it became very clear and evident to us that this gene expression technique and technology enables us to broaden our outlook and our vision. We can, in fact, use this to develop another core category entirely focused on nutrition. And that's why when we sat around and say, how should we code this? This is the Alpha project focusing on that mother of all supplements. It's a foundational product. It's a foundational supplement that can create another new space, just like we can create that space in skincare with the galvanic spa. We're excited enough that we are in advanced development, and soon you will start to hear a bit more details on how this Alpha project is going to shape up and how we are crafting this nutrition supplement. Another product, the galvanic spa, clearly, it's a $500 million product for us in our world. More or less, we are a leader in this space. It continues to perform very well. It continues to provide all our distributors and in our channel the ability to demonstrate immediately, almost within 30 minutes, with a half-faced demo that this spa works. We, in fact, already have clearance from the FDA for the spa as a medical device, Class 3, suited for consumer use. And now we're moving on because the scientists in the skincare R&D department has developed another technology that is another device that you can use with consumables. It can be customized. It can be personalized. We don't need to do that if we don't have to, but it has that option. This is the Epsilon project. This is personalized facial treatment that you can use every day. Unlike, we learned from our galvanic spa, which is used and recommended for use twice a week. With this particular technology, you can use it daily to moisturize, and you can clean and treat your face at the same time, simultaneously, without fumbling on your bathroom top for your moisturizer, for your cleansing agent, or lotion, or whatever. It comes. It's an all-in-one home use device that we are currently coded as the Epsilon project. And again, is in advanced development. We've done those. We've launched Alpha, or at that point in time, and we're going to use the Alpha project to springboard us into personalized nutrition as another project that our scientists are focusing on. This is where we take your nutritional needs into account, we take your gene expression profile into account, and we're able, with that kind of knowledge, be able to come up with a personalized nutrition system. Insofar that we can deliver on the skincare side, we'll deliver on the nutritional side as well with a personalized approach. Many projects going on, and I think you're beginning, and hopefully you see why we think our pipeline is so robust, because each and every one of those projects that I've just described produces an innovative and almost a differentiated and unique product that can help to support the business side of things that Dan has alluded to. But that's not all. We continue to infuse our ageLOC technology into our current product portfolio. Here's an example. Here is the TrueFace Essence Ultra, another big seller in our channel. We have taken our ageLOC and infused it into this particular product. Indeed, this particular product, the ageLOC TrueFace Essence Ultra, will be one of the 2 new product launches in China when they do their region LTO sometime early next year, together with the TR90. So a very important product that we have enhanced and improved upon with the new technology. We continue to support our markets with specific local initiatives, and again, we are in the process of developing an example, an air filter that will address the home environment with clean air. So this will be a stand, it's not a very big unit that you can place in every room in your home so that it will clean the air, and it's almost the efficiency of this air filter that we are developing is almost as good as the one that's being used in hospitals and in hotels to provide you with a clean environment. And following on with that, we are also turning our attention and eyes to purifying the water in many of our markets. As you know, that many of the Asian markets don't have as clean water as we would like, and again, providing them a product that can filter and purify the water would be a very useful adjunct to what we are trying to say, an anti-aging company. So, bringing it full circle then, here's our pipeline. Our future consists of those 5 categories we're working on. You've seen a brief glimpse of the types of products we're bringing out on the personalization side, and soon we'll be providing you with more detail as we move along. So I'll hand the podium back to Truman. Thank you.